Rico is being challenged by the public, by commentators, by fans. Can he deal with heat conditions?
Here we go, Rico Bogen. Obviously we know the heat is his kryptonite.
How much of a shock would it be to see a really top result today, knowing we've just never seen him do it when it's been hot?
I would say Rico Bogen is the one that deals with these brutal conditions in Dubai the worst.
Nobody expected me because the all thing was just one hit wonder. And now in San Francisco I could prove it. I'm still able to do it again.
It's hard racing. For athletes to do that all on their own,
they've got these opportunities to have teams. If they don't have a team, it becomes too tough.
There comes a time when the professionals say, hey, I want a bigger role in this place. That's really what we're here to do, is to give them the opportunity and a platform to showcase their potential and to be paid accordingly for their talents.
It's afforded everybody to take it to another level.
Having a team around the athletes is very important. I think the difference between good athletes and the best athletes.
Young athletes and this very young brand put together in the mix in the highest class of triathlon. That's a real challenge. I think both Rico and Cycle are willing to take calculated risks to deliver the best athlete performance.
Yeah, San Francisco was great.
That's what the fans want to see right now.
Still about a K to go. Rico Bogen's made his move. It looked like Martin Van Riel slightly got the touch to Kyle Smith.
This is what you're aiming for in professional sport, to being long as possible in front, and yeah, I'm hoping for this and I want this again. And takeaways from San Francisco race is that I'm able to be in front. So in Miami we thought it's the next league and I have to improve much more, but now we are there. In San Francisco I was so close to finish in first place. So I know now I could beat everybody, but yeah, still have to improve. For sure theirs was just the sprinting, but to also improve the hot temperatures. But we did the heat training now. Yeah, I think I'm getting that also better.
Rico, as a young athlete, is racing almost without any limitations. He's just not being scared.
the half Ironman 70.3 World Championship wasn't just a one-day wonder. Rico is here because he wants to race the best athletes and wants to be at the top.
Everybody knows me and everybody has me on the list, and then I had one bad race in Miami, and in San Francisco nobody had me on the list. Nobody expected me because the all think it was just one hit wonder. And now in San Francisco I could prove it. I'm still able to do it again, and yeah, I'm hoping for prove it again, and that's my goal, to be always in front.
How are you doing?
Good morning, London. The T100 series is home, ready to take on a new challenge in our iconic city.
Being here in London, I'm really excited for this, hoping for a good race again.
What we're seeing with the T100 series, that the level of performance of the athletes is going up. It's hard racing. And for athletes to do that all on their own, without team, without funding, that's tough. That's really difficult to win races.
We're going to do a body position test. Make a one really free.
Yeah, one of the best takeaways from T100 for me is the athletes are being afforded to go and do these events like a Formula One team. Like anyone that's in the NBA or the NFL, they've got these opportunities to have teams. If they don't have a team, it becomes too tough. It wasn't like this before because the money sort of wasn't around, the coaching system really wasn't around, so now it's been taken to a different level, and I think that, you know, what's been happening over the last 2 or 3 years with PTO and Ironman and Challenge and all these entities is that it's afforded everybody to take it to another level.
yeah, having a team around the athlete is very important, I think. And that's also the difference between good athletes and the best athletes. If you have a good team around you, you don't have to do everything on your own. I always love to travel with a team. And yeah, I have now the privilege that I mostly have at least 1 or 2 persons with me. So without it's not possible and really difficult in this times just to be a one star athlete or one athlete. So it's good to have a team, but it's also difficult to get one. But at the beginning, I think you need good friends. We're doing it for it, and then it's getting more and more professional.
From a company like Cycle to place your marketing and promotional efforts and back an athlete like Rico Bogen, who is attending this T100 series, young athlete and this very young brand put together in the mix in the highest class of triathlon. That's a real challenge that both the company have to raise the education and the athlete. It's fantastic to be a part of, but I think both Rico and Cycle are willing to take calculated risks to deliver the best athlete performance.
Athletes also need this support to deliver those hard performances. And those performances give great media coverage. That's where we actually see the sport of triathlon grow to a new level.
How are you feeling? San Francisco, you provided us with, personally I have to say, my favorite race of the season. 70.3 world champion, coming here, getting to know many of these races that have been around.
Around there, it's like right at like potentially too hot for you, but if it stays like this.
Yeah, it's quite good. I started with 12th place in Miami. Not what I came for. But
yeah, you mentioned the conditions.
We think that as a sport, triathlon's grown amazingly, but it's nowhere near living up to its potential. And the reason for that was the lack of media and the lack of content around the incredible athletes. So that all sport is storytelling, and there wasn't enough storytelling in triathlon, and that's really what we're trying to change. So the whole concept of the T100 is to take a very fragmented sport and weave a narrative that lasts all season long, so we can get behind the stories of these incredible athletes, understand their trials, tribulations, their challenges, their successes. You get it by having a season of incredible performances, and that's really what we're seeing. And I think the byproduct of that is that the sport will grow hugely.
Really great that T100 brings an I race the best athletes together. The surrounding for the pros is very good here. For T100 races, I'm always excited because yeah, you're racing the best if you don't have a good day, and then you are out of the top 10. And it's really great that it's not just one race, so we see us more often, and everybody is staying in the same hotel, so you can also talk before the race with other athletes. So it's getting more friends, but in the race it's they are your opponents and you race them. So it's cool, and also you see them in 1 month. In the next years it's getting even more competitive. There are so many athletes who want to be in the PTO races and T100 races. That's why I want for sure in the top 10 that I get a contract for next year. So because I want to race the best athletes. It's cool to be part here and here the organization in T100.
Right, they got Mark, hey Mark, Alex Walk, Mark, hi, Yuri. Some will have aspirations to do Kendrick, some are not. Well, just be using it for just a bit of fun. But all the clubs are from London. All the clubs from London. Everyone here is London. 3 stations here. We're going to split you into 3 different groups. Bruno will explain. You're going to go in one group that's going to be T1s.
Thank you so much for coming out here this evening. We're super excited to be here. For those of you who don't know, we're from the PTO, our T100 Triathlon World Tour.
There was 60 or 70 kids and all clubs from London coming together for training, so it was really cool to see that there's an organization which brings this together, because it's great to train with kids in your same age and just having fun and battle a little bit, and yeah, so it's easier to train there, and this is very important for the future and for the kids to having someone, and then because the sport is just fun, and then it's not just focusing on training, it's you're going out to play with the friends.
Very cool to the front bike. Yeah. Leader. You know it's a leader. You got a yellow jersey. Come on. That's up on?
Yay!
You have to break here, yeah?
Stay behind one and then...
Are you teaching him how to draft?
I should teach him that. I should teach him that. That's what all the comments are about, isn't it?
Yeah, good to have, because it's allowed here. In a young age, if you're doing everything alone, then I think you won't do it for such a long time. So it's great to have to being together, and it was really well organized with 3 stations, also technical stuff. Really cool to see this in such a big city that's possible to come all together.
Good back with this. Yeah. 15 seconds.
Try to move your bike a little bit more like this and a bit like up and out, so like you're balancing on this side of the tire. I think. Use your brakes, use your brakes. Yeah. Oh, good job. At your age, if you train or do sports, you can get good at something quite quick. And the more attention you pay to something, the better you get at the end. But the most important thing is that you just enjoy it.
In young age, the swimming is, I think, most important to learn technique.
Yeah, look at Rico.
Such bike technical training I didn't have, so I think it's cool, and maybe we see in 10 years that we see future stars out of Great Britain or London here. Often after the school, everybody is dropping out of the sport. I think I'm one out of 3 athletes who are doing the sport now, and we were 80. The dropout is very high, so I think parents they're very important, and then that you get a next point, because you go out of school with 18, and that's very difficult to earn the money.
The journey of the PTO is the natural path of athlete self-determination, in that we are the athlete body, and just like all those other sports, there comes a time when the professionals say, hey, I want a bigger role in this place, and that's really what we're here to do, is to give them the opportunity and a platform to showcase their potential and to be paid accordingly for their talents.
It's been driven by great prize money, and they deserve it. I mean, being a professional triathlete, it's not easy. You've got to do 3 different sports, you've got to look after your body, massage, you've got to get chiropractic work, adjusting things with your bike and swim strokes and having coaches. It's a lot that goes into it. So I think that the money now has made a big difference, and it's allowing the athletes to get to a different level.
It's difficult to live on a sport if you are not at the highest level. Without sponsors, such a life, it's not possible, because triathlon is very expensive. It's really great to call now my hobby as a job. As a child, I just trained because I loved it. I never expected that it's possible to earn good money with triathlon, and so fast now. So for sure, the world title was good for me, and it doesn't feel like a job. It feels like you're doing what you love, and that's great.
We're now preparing. We're 20 minutes away from the race. T100 London. Now it's really up to the 20 best men in the world to go race here.
I think it could be a really fast race.
Wearing number 7 from Germany, Rico Bogen.
Again, a very strong start field, and I'm hoping to be in front as long as possible.
And we are racing 100 kilometres to go here at T100 London, the 4th stop of the T100 World Tour. In that zone, though, they do look quite close.
There's 2 bottles.
Rico Bogen, he has a reputation for not performing well in the heat. Does feel really hot. Should that be a factor?
It's definitely something that he struggled with, but he did say he's been preparing for it as well. The fact of what we're seeing, he has lost his nutrition, and this will be extremely motivating for Sam Laidlow, going out, seeing that he's finally broken the other athletes, and he has created a time gap.
So Rico Bogen, he did get that 30-second penalty, and he has now officially served it. So he's now 3 minutes and 40 seconds behind the leader. It was these socks left out of that little box. They've got to be in that box, or it's a 30-second penalty. He has held on. He's done the undoable, holding on Paul Smith, the best runner in the sport right now. Sam Laidlow, you are the champion here. T100 London. Rico Bogen involved in that famous sprint finish last time around at race 3 in San Francisco. He had that 30-second penalty that made his race very hard, but he has in his 7th year today at London. Considering it was hot, 28 degrees at the end of the run, that's a brilliant performance from Rico Bogen, the young German. The beautiful beaches of Ibiza, a small crowd assembled for the race start. On your marks! We see there a very quick starter's horn. Sam Laidlaw a little slow to get away, but ultimately he's on some good feet over there. Well, the thing with Rico Bogen is conditions are a factor for him in a way that they aren't for some others. He really struggles in the heat, and he doesn't really want to find himself in a position like he did in San Francisco where he's battling on the run and it's potentially 24, 25, 26 degrees.
Rico, we know he's racing to win. We know he wants to win desperately. Rico Bogen looking good here early on, and I don't think it's hot enough yet to play a significant factor against him.
This is exactly what we wanted today. A battle for the ages here at T100 Ibiza. Martin Van Riel, he won T100 San Francisco on debut of the T100 World Tour. Martin Van Riel, your two-time T100 World Tour champion. Sam Laidlaw, second place here at T100 Ibiza. Rico Bogen, who faded throughout that run. The heat probably got the better of him there. We know these conditions don't really suit him. As soon as it's above 16, 18 degrees Celsius, he really does just become a different athlete. If it's 12 degrees, he's one of the best in the world.
I think it's a good thing, no wetsuit race.
Yeah, but 31, so it's still hot. Last race of the season of the T100, yeah, it's really important. For me now, because I'm 10th position, 10 men's get a contract for next year. It's important to stay in the top 10. That's the major goal for the race, but for sure I want more.
For the T100 Dubai Grand Finals, there's a lot at stake for Rico. At 10th position currently, with double points at stake for this race. If the two guys below him score really well, they can actually turn him out of the top 10 position, which means he is not automatically receiving a T100 contract for 2025. It's very important for Rico to do well in Dubai.
So yeah, it's a really important race because it can change completely the whole ranking. Yeah, the main risk is for sure that you blow up. It's always over 30 degrees. It's also not dry heat, it's a little bit humid. Yeah, you have to be clever, you have to be smart. I think everyone is a little bit afraid of the heat. And here you have to be smart because if you overcook, then it's nearly done the race.
It's all ready to go. We just need
Rico had requested, based on the course being fairly flat, for a change to his drivetrain. So we selected from Aero Coach the chainring with 58 tooth, and Rico came from 54 with a Q-ring effect on 3, 4 and 5 o'clock of the hour.
Changed a little bit the bike. Now I'm riding a 58 chainring, the bigger chainring. What is really important here, just in the training I rode 42 kilometers in average in normal training ride, so I think it will be possible to have an average of 47, 48, and then we are often over 50, so it's good that I have a bigger one there.
Yeah, obviously for the location where Dubai is in the Middle East, temperature, humidity, and in general high pressure on this race to perform well. Rico has trained and prepared better for heat and climatization, but until now, on a race level, that still has to be proven how Rico will perform.
Over the whole season, I work now more with the core sensor. Yeah, with the sensor you will see how good you are adapted to the heat. Directly for this race, we were in Gran Canaria, and that was around 25 degrees. So training outside there in the sun was also quite hot, and then we always do indoor sessions with long clothes or with a heated room that you simulate the heat conditions, but it's difficult to simulate hot and humid conditions.
It will be a fast course. Rico should be able to do well, but again, the heat and the humidity could prove an obstacle.
But yeah, the course answer says I'm prepared for hot conditions. Last night I slept very good, and yeah, I felt ready. Yeah, you see the athletes the whole week, so you are not nervous to see the athletes, but you are getting more nervous to race now.
Race expectations that this was going to be really tough for Rico. That level of anger and that desire to really prove that he belonged where he was, it turned it into a remarkable race.
Superhumans are minutes away from a race which could define their careers.
The conditions hotter here today than they were yesterday. I would say Rico Bogen is the one that deals with these brutal conditions in Dubai the worst.
Yeah, it's really hot, but let's do our best. Yeah, let's do our best. I can do a top 5, but other people can handle the heat better. So,
He is a young gun, right? 70.3 world champion. But obviously never in a caliber field like what we're seeing on every single T100 race. Here we go, Rico Bogen currently sitting in second. Obviously we know the heat is his kryptonite.
How much of a shock would it be to see a really top result from Rico Bogen today, knowing we've just never seen him do it? He's not yet been able to put down a great run when it's been hot.
The biggest shock possible on today's race.
The people who doesn't believe in you challenge me. I want to prove that I'm good.
It is the racing that's setting the standard around the world, and you're going to need to deal with every kind of course and every kind of condition with the very best field at hand every single time. So he knows in his training that's the only way he's going to succeed.
Yeah, I felt comfortable staying focused on the cooling and saying overcooking is not a problem, and we did a good training block, so I hoped for good legs until the finish line. I believed in my fitness that I'm capable of to run this to the end.
All year we've heard people say Rico can't deal with heat, you know.
If he wins this, it will be a very big middle finger to all the people who said this, right? Everybody's saying he's so young and he's got time, but
To him, he wants to race and he wants to win this now.
In the race, I don't think, okay, I'm the youngest, I have to be 2 minutes slower than them. So age is just a number. Yeah, to all the people, they say that I'm not good in the heat and I can't handle the heat, and I'm just a person who is good under 18 degrees.
We have Rico Bogen next to us, second today. Rico, you've proved everyone wrong. You are now very much capable of competing in these hot conditions, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm so proud. So many people say that I can't handle the heat. For 30 seconds I had tears of joy because I felt I proved that I'm capable of in the heat, and it really challenged myself to prove that I'm good here.
Rico is being challenged by the public, by commentators, by fans. Can he deal with heat conditions, humidity conditions such as take place in Dubai? He proved everybody wrong and actually really stamped his authority on the race. This was a whole new Rico almost that had worked with coach Joe Spindler on heat, on specific trainings, and it proved.
Yeah, that's why you're doing professional sport, or why you're doing sport for these moments. It gives you something back. it can be really proud, and then you have to have the team around you which supports you. It's really great, and yeah, this is why you are doing the sport, and yeah, it gives you goosebumps. Yeah.
Talk to us to the importance of being a team. I mean, you have just come and reached the podium of the Dubai T100. What is the importance of the team in such a strong individual performance?
Yeah, I think triathlon is a complex sport, so you can't do it alone, and you need a team. We call us the three musketeers, and so the manager, coach, and we really working strongly together. And yeah, we built a plan how to handle the heat. We focused on this day here, Dubai, the grand final. We know here are more points, and then yeah, in the end, it finally worked out.
For a brand such as Cycle to suddenly be having the luxury of working with a talent, pure raw talent like Rico, who rises to the top incredibly fast, to see such talent develop so fast, so mature, the intelligence and the smoothness with which, and the aggression with which Rico races, it's, I think, a privilege for a young brand like us. And as a brand, we have to do everything to keep providing Rico with the fastest technology, the most testing facilities. That is really what Cycle is excelling in. And for Rico to know that he's working with a team that's capable, a technology that's really state-of-the-art and patented, the synergies are tremendous. And in those synergies, yeah, the performance that Rico is then able to deliver is incredible.
Prove me wrong! Well done, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah, you deserve everything you get, mate.
Yeah.
The T100 series, Triathlon World Series, came to a closure for 24. Very clear at the finish line of the race, where all the male and female athletes and all the staff came together. The PTO team had done an incredible job on an entire season. Not easy to start such a series of events in big cities and to operate it the way they've done. So it's fantastic to be a part of, and it's a very meaningful way to grow professional athletes, to grow the sport, and to actually take the sport from a participation level into a spectator level, where people can really watch online and be excited for 3.5, 4 hours to watch the swim, bike and run events.
PTO does not view its competitors as Ironman or World Triathlon, which is our partner. Our competitor is NFL, UFC, MLB. And the reason for that is that we only, as humans, we only have so much discretionary time, and we're competing for that time. Now, those sports I mentioned have got 100 years of history, huge revenues behind them. Triathlon needs to catch up, and that takes investment. And we've been very fortunate to raise money from some pretty incredible investors because they see the untapped commercial value of triathlon. And so they're backing us to be able to take it to those heights. I think it's important to remember sometimes, golf and tennis, these are sports that have been going for over 100 years. Triathlon is still, we're really young, In terms of how far along are we? We're getting close, When we first put together the PTO with our first few events, we assumed that this would probably be in the early days a Facebook Live or a streaming product, right? Fast forward 3 years, this is being shown live in 160 countries around the world on TV. So not just digital, actually on TV. And so what I think that shows is the media world, the broadcast world, is buying into triathlon fast. And the reason is they understand the value of triathlon and its potential. There just hasn't been any no productions of the quality that they're willing to give their airtime to. Now, that's what we need to fix, and that's how triathlon comes mainstream. Triathlon itself is a niche sport, of course, and that's fine. It's great to be a niche. You break triathlon down into swimming, cycling, running, close to 1 billion people do those sports regularly. This is one of the biggest markets in the world. It just hasn't been packaged correctly. And so the way we think we package it is by getting the very best in the sport to compete head-to-head consistently through the year, and that's how you build a product.
Now, after the first season, I can say that it's really cool to be part of the T100 season. I never dreamed of the top 3 here.
With Rico's second place, and then the T100 24 total season, third place or bronze medal for the entire season.
In the second place, it's changed now that I have another T100 podium, which is really great, and overall ranking of T100 changed a lot. I was fighting for the top 10. I have the third place in our series. It's crazy. yeah, my season was not the best, I would say, but there was good races like San Francisco, but I was not completely satisfied with the season. But now with the second place is really great, and it's also important to take moments where you look back and see what you all achieved and yeah, be proud of what you already achieved.